basics of R environment, R script, console, stata, microfit, SPSS, etc.
Okay, Utpalji, are you dedicating the session to any personality today?
Yes, sir. Today we are dedicating this session to a great personality named Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. I'm little scripting little bit of uh, things about Vidyasagar, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar was a social reformer, philosopher, philanthropist, and educationalist with a modern vision. He was a person with high morality, honest character, truthfulness, social reform, unselfishness, and liberalism. He was born in Bir Singha village in Hooghly district of Bengal on 26 September 1820. He belonged to a Hindu Brahmin family and was born to Thakurdas Bandyopadhyay and Bhagavati Devi. He was not privileged enough to have gas lamp at his home, and the desire to acquire knowledge made him study under the street lights. Contributions of Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. He contributed to the removal of social injustice. He worked for upliftment of women, allowing widow remarriage and advocating against polygamy, which was largely spread at that time. He played a major role in part in being appointed as a head Pandit of Fort William College on December 29, 1841, at the age of only 21. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar opened schools for girls, brought significant reforms in the education sector by bringing justice and equality for women through education. He brought social reforms to change the orthodox Hindu society from within. He was also a great intellectual activist in the 19th century who installed socio-religious reforms to modern history. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar established a number of model schools in Hooghly, Midnapur, Burdwan, and Nadia. He introduced monthly exams instead of annual ones, supervised schools, and changed the syllabus. He brought the study of English, Western science, and mathematics into the syllabus. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar was also started the acceptance of tuition fees and admission fees and made a Sunday weekly holiday. The revolution in the education system in Bengal was also made by him. His works involved Betal Panchavinshati, 1947, Banglar Itihash, 1948, Jivan Charita, 1949, Sakuntala, 1854, Mahabharata, 1860, Sitar Banavas, 1860, Thanti Vilas, 1869, Oti Alpa Holeo, 1873, Abar Oti Alpa Holeo, 1873, Rajavilas, 1884, Ratna Prakashika in 1886. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar's social reforms included Vidhava Vivaho on the widow's right to remarry in 1855, Bahu Vivaho on the banning of polygamy in 1871, and Balya Vivaho on the flaws of child marriage. So today we are dedicating this session to this great personality, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. Now I am now over to Dr. Sudin sir to start his valuable session. Thank you, sir.
And I again welcome Sudin sir to start the session.
Thank you, Utpalji, for a very nice introduction. And I'm really surprised by the data you collected regarding. And I would also like to thank my dear friend Dipjyoti other colleagues, the colleagues from the Department of Economics, Vidyasagar University, and colleagues from the Department of Business Administration, Assam University, for giving me this golden opportunity to speak something before you. I would also like to say that the concept of dedicating session is really heart-touching. I convey my great appreciation to the Department of Business Administrations and organizers for doing these things. It's a really interesting, and I have seen it first time in my life. I have attended many seminars, but the dedication of sessions is first time in my life. Thank you, Jyoti sir, for your valuable contribution in this regard. So, dear participants, now we are celebrating the Teachers' Day week. As we have observed the Teachers' Day on 5th September in the inaugural session, and till in many universities and many departments, they are celebrating the Teachers' Day. So I also like to convey my sincere thanks to all the teachers who are directly and indirectly associated with me. And I would like to thanks, or I'd like to convey the Happy Teachers' Day to all the would-be teachers. That means the researchers and participants of this 2-week faculty development program on research methodology on social sciences. Today, I'll be talking on a topic, basics of software packages, where I have seen that many packages are written like art, stata, e-views, SPSS, and so on and so forth. Dear friends, today I would like to share one thing is that the knowledge on every software is not required. Knowledge on one software in details and the partial knowledge on another software is sufficient for conducting the research study. Nowadays, in social science, using right now, because it is program-based software. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Audible.
So it is a program-based software. There are other softwares like Python. So it is another program-based software. Another softwares like MinTab, like Adanko, like eViews, like Stata, like Smart PLS are available for social sciences studies. As yesterday, you had a session on data, primary data and secondary data. So data can be classified into 2 categories, as you know. One is the primary data, another is the secondary data. I will not go in details about the primary data and the secondary data, but we have a conception that for the secondary data, for the econometric analysis, researchers mainly use stata and e-views. In some cases, researchers use SPSS. In some specific cases, researchers use R and Python. But for the primary data, you can use R, you can use Python if your data size is big. If you are handling the big data, so you can also use the R and Python. You can use the Smart PLS. You can use the SPSS when your data size is not so big. So these are the, even you can use Adanko, you can use MinTab. These are the softwares that are available in the market. You can, if you type on the Google, you can find the name of this software and you can get the access Either sometimes it is free of cost or sometimes you need to pay nominal charges. Just believe me, all the statistical softwares are giving you the same results. Only interface is differences. Only interface is differences. After getting the results, when you will get the results from the statistical softwares, then you must utilize your capability. You must utilize your knowledge, your interpretation skill, and then you have to prepare your research article, research paper to publish in a good journal. So today I'll be talking on two software, basic software for primary data analysis. In some cases, you can also use this for the secondary data analysis. One is the SPSS, another is the Smart PLS. As the Dipojyoti already mentioned that I am associated with marketing domain, so I love to work with the primary data. I love to work with the field data. And for analyzing the field data, SPSS and Smart PLS software play a very pivotal role. R is also there, but R is not so students friendly, not so handy, because you need to type the program for running a particular analysis. But R is good. I also recommended the R software for your statistical analysis. Anyway, today we'll be not talking about the other softwares except SPSS and Smart PLS. Now let me start with the concept of the SPSS. The term SPSS stands for Statistical Packages for Social Sciences. So it is, this software has been developed by IBM and it is available, freely available or freely accessible for everyone. If you have the crack, I think you know you have the expertise to download it, the crack, and if you install to the SPSS software through the crack, sure it can be lifetime for your research. Okay, sure, this is not an issue. Issue is that today we'll be talking about the SPSS, then we will switch into the Smart PLS and try to explain what are the differences between SPSS and the Smart PLS, what kinds of benefits you will get if you use the Smart PLS, and how you will be interpreted the results. So now let me share the screen for the presentation. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, visible.
Thank you. So now just I am opening the IBM SPSS software. Okay, this is the interface of SPSS software. When you will be open the SPSS software, so you will find there are two views. One is variable view, another is the data. What is the variable view? If you click on the variable view, so you must put the name of the variable over there, and there are some descriptions of regarding the variables, and finally you can put the data on the data view. So now just let me take a simple.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Sudin, sir.
Sure.
Like, how do you like whether the participants should be asking questions as you go along with your discussion, or at the last?
Stop anywhere. They can stop anywhere. I will try to respond to them.
Okay.
Okay. If they have any questions, if they have any doubts, please feel free to stop me. I don't mind anything, and I will try to give the answer of your questions. Okay. So this is the interface of the SPSS. There are two views. One is the variable view, and another is the data view. So just there are some options are given: file, edit, view, data, transform, analyze. All these things are there. So if we click on the analyze button, so see how many analysis you can perform through the SPSS software. There is a descriptive statistics you can perform. You can perform the one-way ANOVA. You can perform the paired sample t-test. You can perform the correlation analysis, regression analysis, neural networks, with dimension reduction, scale, non-parametric test. So all kinds of analysis you can perform by utilizing this software. For your better understanding, just I would like to show you how do we insert the data in SPSS software. So this is the variable view. I have a simple data set over here for your better understanding. One is the sales, another is the region. So now, here I am writing over here sales. So when I am putting the name in the variable view, so there are different options are highlighted. Type, what kinds of variable is it? It is numeric variable. It is comma, dot, scientific notation, date, dollar, custom currency, string. So all these are not required. Just you should keep in your mind that numeric means the data value should be numerical one, and string means the data should be alphabetical. That's mean A to Z. For instance, if we like to denote the gender, we can write 1 for male, 2 for female. But if we wish to denote the gender as female and male, say F for female and M for male, that circumstances, we must click on the string. So when will we click on the string, so the data will be, we must insert the data here, will be in the alphabetical order. So now I put over here the numeric, and here is the width, that's been the digit of the data. It is, you can increase it, and decimal points, it is 2, you can make it 0, or if you wish to use the decimal places, you can put it over here. So now, okay, so this is the type, this is the width and decimals that is already explained in the type. This is the level, you can write over here the level of your variable. What is it? It is the sales of monthly sales or quarterly sales or yearly sales, whatever you wish to, you can mention in your level. Next is the values. Here you can mention for a Likert scale or for a semantic differential scale, we use the different kinds of value. Say for one is in the Likert scale, generally it is strongly disagreed. So here we write 1, and in case of a level, it will be strongly disagree. And then we can write 2, 3. If we write over here, say strongly disagree, the add option will be enabled. And if we click on the add, so it will be coming over here. And then if I click on the OK, so it will be in the level, in the values. Then if there is any missing value, so it will be show the missing value, columns, right, and inputs. And second variable is the region. Region, same thing. I have a 3 region.
So I
region
have one
1.
question, sir.
Sorry, yes, please.
Sir,
Please.
missing value, I didn't understand, sir. Missing value. So can you please this missing value? You are telling about the missing values.
Missing value
What
means
are
suppose
these?
you have a data of 300 samples. So something is missing
Okay.
over there. You can write over here that missing value, discrete missing values, range puts, one option discrete missing values. So generally, missing value is not so important here. So it by default shows that we do not have any missing value, because when we put the data in the Excel sheet, we put the data very cautiously. So it by default shows that missing value is none, and it will be in the column 8. You can decrease it, and it is right alignment or center alignment or left alignment. You can do it, and measures is unknown. And there are 3 measures. One is the scale, one is the ordinal, another is the nominal. According to your data, according to your scale, you can mention it. Generally, we mention over here it is a scale because we are using a continuous scale value. So these are the 2 variables. So one is the sales, another is the region. So now if we come to the data, so there are one sales, another is the region. So I would like to show you, just I'm putting the data, copied it from, it is the hypothetical data. I don't know the exactly result of it. So it is the sales. Now I am pasting over here, and I have defined that there are three region 1, region 2, and region 3. So what shall I do? I have to make it these three things into the level. So now come to the variable view. I have to put it the one for it is central region, two for say east region, and three for say west region. Okay, so this data we have. One is the sales, and there are three regions. We are going to calculate, is there any differences between the sales among the region. So now come to the analyze. There is a descriptive statistics. If we want to check the frequency, so we can put these two variables in this box. There is a statistics, mean, median, mode, sum, standard deviation. So we click on the mean and standard deviation, and we can also click on the skewness and kurtosis for checking the normality. And then if we click on it, so this is the descriptive statistics. And in this descriptive statistics, we can see the mean value, we can see the standard deviation value. There is no missing value, so that's why it is showing 0. There is no skew. The skewness is 1.492. That is within the range of +3 to -3. Kurtosis also is 1.902. It is also in the range between +3 to -3. So we can say that data is normal, and we can analyze. So if we come again into the analyze, and we can go for the one-way ANOVA. So if I click on the sales is our dependent list and region is our factor, and just go to the option, there is a descriptive statistics, there is a homogeneity of variance test, there is not required for the other test. Just if we click on it, so you will get the results of the ANOVA. What are the logic? What are the reasons? Just I am telling how do you use the SPSS software for your basic analysis. Basic analysis to calculate the statistics of your data, to calculate the what is it called, that one way. You can calculate also regression. You can calculate also the factor analysis, that is the dimension rate, and so on and so forth. So SPSS is good for the social science researchers. Options. There are many options you can utilize, you can apply for your research studies. So this is one example that I shown you about the ANOVA analysis. So there is another things. If I conduct a regression analysis, so suppose I have a data over here. Sorry. Say this is the data which I have. One is the income of an individual is depending upon the two important dimension. One is the education, another is the year of experiences. This data is also a hypothetical data. So I'd like to show you how do you conduct the regression analysis in SPSS. Just let me input the data in SPSS software. Okay, so in variable view, it is education, it is income, and it is year of experience. These three construct I have taken. 1, 2 is the independent variable, that is education and year of income, year of experience, and income is the dependent variable. So if you wish to run the regression analysis, so now go to the regression. There is an option of linear. So just there you will find that another window will be open. So one is the dependent and here is the independent. So just click on the income and put in the dependent, and education and year of experience to put in the independent box. Now click on the statistics. there is a R square that is required, descriptive statistics, collinearity diagnostics, and Darwin-Watson. Click on the continue and then click on the OK. So this is your results. This is the descriptive statistics. Mean income is 344.37. This is the standard deviation 1.55. Number of observations is 43. This is the mean education 12.53, and year of experience is 3.41. This is the correlational statistics. All the correlations are positive, and income is positively related with the education and the year of experience. And then come to the model summary. See, here is the R value is 0.72, which is sound good. R square value is 0.518. Adjusted R square is just below the 0.5, and there are the Darwin-Watson value. So the Darwin-Watson value should be lies between 1.5 to 2.5 as per the literature. But now the Darwin-Watson value is lesser than the 1.5. So we can say that there are some multipolarity problem. And however, it is the ANOVA table says that the F value is significant, and which indicates that if we ignore the Darwin-Watson value, if we ignore the multipolarity, it indicates that the income is depend on the year of experience and education. If your data is genuine, if you have collected your data from the real sources, the Darwin-Watson value may be a good one. It may be within the range of the thumb rule. So you can also say that there will be no multicollinearity, or there will be no collinearity. If there is a collinearity, you can check it and you can remove it. So there is a level. We can also check the VIA values for the collinearity. VIA values is greater than 0.1. Is that there is a collinearity problem. Anyway, so this is your cup of tea. How do you interpret the results? But just I am showing you how do you use the SPSS statistical softwares for your analysis purposes. So these are the two simple examples for SPSS. So apart from this ANOVA analysis, apart from this regression analysis, you can also perform the what is it called, that factor analysis, which is alternatively known as the dimension reduction. Suppose you have a 30 or 40, say V1 to V40. You are going to assess the service quality of an educational institution. So you have a different scale that you have taken from the existing literatures, and you have selected the 40 items out of this literature. So after the 40 items, which construct will be more important? How do you find the factors? So you can run the factor analysis. From the factor analysis, you can observe how many factors are there. You can observe and what are the significant factors that are associated with the service quality of an higher education institutions, and you can also go for further analysis. Just I would like to share that the SPSS, it is for first generation or statistical softwares. When your objective is to basic objective is to exploratory, that's when you want to explore the facts and figures of a particular study, so you can use it. But when you wish to conduct the confirmatory factor analysis, the confirmation of your analysis, so you must go for the second higher or maybe higher order analysis. So this is the first order analysis that I have shown you, regression, ANOVA, or maybe the factor analysis. These all are the first order analysis. For confirmation, you must conduct the higher order analysis. In SPSS, higher order analysis cannot be performed. For performing the higher order analysis, you have to install another statistical software, which is also linked with SPSS, that is known as the AMOS. Okay, that is known as the AMOS, analysis of moments of structure. So through the AMOS, you can analyze the higher order analysis. Otherwise, you cannot be perform the higher order analysis through the AMOS. That is one limitation of SPSS. If you wish to perform the mediating analysis or moderation analysis or analysis of the control variable, you cannot utilize the SPSS statistical software for analyzing all these things. For mediating analysis or moderating analysis, mediation or moderation analysis, you must install another software which is called the process software. So through the process software, you can analyze the mediating analysis or moderation analysis. Okay, so if you wish to utilize the SPSS statistical software for your research study, for your research analysis, so you just limit your research work, or you just limit your research analysis up to first order analysis. If you have a plan to analyze this higher order or the next order or second order, so you must install the AMOS or process for analyzing the higher order. Just I would like to show you AMOS software, which is inbuilt with the IBM SPSS. So this is the interface of the AMOS software. After performing the factor analysis, that you have a class on probably tomorrow on factor analysis. So after conducting the factor analysis, you can perform the what is it called, that movement structure analysis, which is alternatively known as the ECM, structural equation modeling. But here is also one limitation. The AMOS consider the covariant based structure analysis. AMOS perform covariant based structure analysis, of where the normality of the data is most important criteria. Without normal of your data, you cannot get the sound results of your analysis. So this is all about the statistical software SPSS and other related software, that is AMOS and the process. I will not show anything about the AMOS and the process because I am not performing the factor analysis. As you have a class, you have a session tomorrow on the factor analysis, I hope that the concerned experts will be shown you how we will be conduct the higher order analysis through the SPSS statistical software. Okay, I hope this is the brief introduction about the SPSS, and there are many other analyses you can perform without any hesitations. There is a dimension reduction. You can check the reliability of your data. This is the scale. Okay, and there are some non-parametric tests. There are some multi-responses tests, and you can also conduct the neural networks. Okay, sure. The SPSS software is good for the primary or first order analysis. But right now, most of the journals, most of the quality journals, they are looking for the higher order analysis. They are looking for the higher order analysis. For the higher order analysis, you must install AMOS or process to conduct the confirmatory analysis. Okay, so now I'm going to the next part of my
question. So I have a question.
please.
So while writing our thesis, is it mandatory to use SPSS? And if not, then what type of research SPSS is mandatory?
I'm not getting it. Could you please repeat once again?
Sir, I'm just asking that, is it mandatory to use SPSS while writing thesis for our in our PhD?
See, when you are dealing with the data, so you have to insert the results in your paper, isn't it? Otherwise, how the evaluators can evaluate your results? But
yes,
you have performed. That is number one. You can perform your analysis even Excel also if you have the expertise on Excel. Which statistical softwares do you use for analyzing the data? It is not an issue. Issue is your knowledge. Issue is your interpretation skill. Issue is your presentation. What I told you, I have started with basic things that the results that you were getting from SPSS or from SmartPLS or from R, everything is same. Only interface is different, isn't it? I'll show you the differences of the interfaces later when I'll be talking about the SmartPLS, isn't it? So It is not mandatory that you must use the SPSS. It is not like that. Why do you use the statistical software? If we go back 20 years, the researchers didn't use any statistical softwares. They use only Excel, isn't it? And they prepare their results. They find out their results and they interpreted their results accordingly. But right now we become very much sophisticated. We do not have time to prepare the, what is it called, that codes for analysis. In SPSS, you know the different codes for analyzing, say, or running a particular analysis. Say for regression, you need something. For ANOVA, you must write something, isn't it? Getting my point? So it is not mandatory that you must use the SPSS. You can use any software. Even you can use R if you have the knowledge, if you have the expertise. What I am telling, just the knowledge of a particular software or any one software is sufficient for conducting any research, isn't it? Okay, software will give you the results. That I show you. Just let me show you once again. This is the regression analysis. I perform it, and this is okay. This is the results. Okay. I don't know anything about it. If I don't know anything about it, how can I interpret it? Without proper interpretation, this result doesn't make any sense, isn't it? So when you will be writing your PhD thesis, so you have a data, either it may be primary data or it may be secondary data. Yes. If you have the secondary data, you can use the statistical software like EViews or Stata. If you have the primary data, or if you are dealing with the primary data, so you may use the statistical software like SPSS, like a Smart PLS, like Adanko, like R.
So my objectives consist of relationship between two variables, and also the other objective consists of mediating relationship as well. So what tool I should use?
Actually, for relationship, that is the first order, you can analyze the SPSS. You can conduct the ANOVA analysis to find out the relationship. I am not sure about what kinds of objectives you have. Or you can analyze, you can run the regression analysis, isn't it? If your one is dependent variable and another is independent variable.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it depends on the nature of the data. And for the mediating analysis or moderating analysis, you must install the process software.
Yes, sir.
In SPSS, you cannot perform the mediating or moderating analysis.
Yes, sir.
Okay, for the structural equation modeling, which is very popular in recent time, you must install the AMOS, that is known as the analysis of moment of structures. Isn't it?
But sir, nowadays researchers are saying that this structural equation modeling is outdated. So researchers, why they are saying like that, sir, that structural equation modeling is outdated?
Hello, your voice is broken. I'm not getting you properly. Could you please repeat once again, Dr. Arts, Santi?
Yes, sir, I'm again repeating, sir. So nowadays, researchers, they are saying that now structural equation modeling is like outdated. Is it true, sir?
It's not true. Actually, covariant-based structural equation modeling is outdated, but now we are using multiple variables in our study, isn't it? For structural equation modeling, if we included mediating analysis, moderating analysis, or if we add the constant variable, so then it will be very appreciated by the reviewers. So structural equation modeling is not outdated. Right now, the partial least square structural equation modeling is very in high craze.
But sir, for that we need to pay, sir, right? Sir, it's not free version, right?
Oh, it's not a free version. I'm sorry for that. But you can use the R statistical software, which is absolutely free, isn't it? I'm not recommending to use the what is it called, that Smart PLS software. But Smart PLS software is very handy and very easy for the researcher. You can handle it. Just I'd like to show you how you can use it. But our software is basically program-based software, you know the programs, and then you can run the software. Otherwise, it is hardly possible to run the software. For running a particular program, for particular analysis, you must install that particular package from the library. Hasn't it? R has a library, R has a
Yes, sir.
console.
Sir, actually, it's very difficult, sir, because there are a lot of
Yeah.
codings are there, no?
I know it. That's why I already told you only 2 to 3% researchers use the R. If you go through the journals or good quality what is it called, the journals, you may find out of 10 publications, only one publisher, only one researcher use the R. Or sometimes you may not find anyone that use the R because of these difficulties. But I assure you that if you practice it, it will be easy for you. But it is free software, absolutely free software. Smart PLS is not free. You can enjoy the trial for 30 days or maybe 35 days. If you request them, they can, what is it called, extended your free version for another 30 days. But later you must pay to them, isn't it?
But sir, that is the student's version, right? Where the maximum sample size can be
Yes, in
only
case of a
100.
student version, you cannot enjoy the flexibility of the smart PLSs. You must use the professional version. In case of a student version, the sample size will be maximum 100. But in a research study, 100 sample is not sufficient. Our sample size is more than 500 and sometimes more than 1000. So students version is not sufficient for you as you are a researcher, and so you must use the professional version.
Sir, in case of the free trial, no, you said, can we use sample size more than 100,
Yeah.
sir?
In case of a free trial, they offer you the professional version.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So this is one limitations for the SPSS. For first order, this software is very, very handy. Okay, for the first order analysis, but for the higher order analysis, you must know the AMOS for the structural equation modeling. For the mediating or moderating analysis, you should have a knowledge on process. This is the limitation of this particular softwares. Now I am moving to the smart PLA software, which is very user friendly and sophisticated for all the researchers. Let me close it. Okay, see, this is the interface of the smart PLS. Okay, see, when we open the smart PLS, there are three options. One is the PLS SEM. PLS stands for the partial least square structural equation modeling. Second one is the regression. Third one is the process. So what is your common understanding from this software? So it is basically combination of SPSS, process, and AMOS. Getting my point?
Yes,
This
sir.
is
Yes,
a
sir.
software which is combined by SPSS, AMOS, and process. So you can perform any kinds of analysis by utilizing this particular software. Okay, just let me show you. I have designed a very basic model for your understanding. This is a model. This is the first order model, isn't it? Utilitarian value and the hedonic value. When I am going to find out the relationship with the purchase intention, so this becomes the second order analysis, isn't it? So the left part is the first order analysis, and the second part is basically the higher order analysis. So how do you identify the relationship between utilitarian value, hedonic value, and the purchase intention in SPSS? Is there any way to find out? You can't find out these kinds of model or these kinds of relationship through SPSS. But in AMOS, it is very simple and easy to find out. How do you do? Just let me show you. Now this is the interface of the smart PLS. It is a professional version. Now, if we click on the new project, so one new window will be appear on your screen. Now they are asking for a name. So I am putting the name is FDP. Okay. Now, then click on the create. So when you will be create a new project, you will find there are two options will be blink or will be enabled. One is the import data file and one is the create model. What do you mean by the import data file? So you must import the data for your analysis and then you may create your model. So now click on the import data file. If I click on the import data file, I just put one data set over here for your understanding, which is related to the NIM marketing, and just click on the data file. When you will be click on the data file, you will get the these kinds of interface. So there is a name of the variables. If you just scroll down, you will get the name of the variable over here. Then you can get it. What kinds of data is it? Is it binary or metric data? Minimum and maximum. Okay. So everything you will be get, and then you will be get number of missing value. So this is an Excel sheet. Just I'd like to show you. This is an Excel sheet where I have utilized the primary data, and the scale of the data was a 5-point Likert scale, 1 to 5 for the items, and for age it is 1 and 2, for gender it is 1 and 2, and so on and so forth. Okay, so suppose I am forgot to, when I am entered the data from the hard copy to the soft copy over here, I'm missing this data, isn't it? So it is hardly possible to identify without any magnifying glass whether the data is entered or not. So if there is any missing value, just I'd like to show you, just let me save it. Okay, so just type is the cancel. Just click on the cancel. Now click on the input data once again. Just double click on it. See, the number 1 empty value were found. This is the beauty of this particular software. Okay, you can find, you can easily identify how many values are missing in your data set. So what do you will click on the cancel, go to the Excel sheet once again, and find where it is missing. So this is the missing value. You can put the value over here and save it. So again, you can import data. See, there is no missing value. Now I click on the import. Now when it will be imported, when the data will be imported in your screen, you can identify, you can see the minimum value, maximum value, skewness, kurtosis, everything will be given to you. Okay, so based on this minimum, maximum, you can identify whether the data is normal or not normal according to the thumb rule. As we know that if the value of the standard deviation, skewness is greater than +3 and or -3, so there is something problem. So you must check it. And now after that, we'll go to the model. So this is basically our data is imported over here. The name of the data is survey report on NIM marketing. Number of observation is 280. Click on the create model. So when you will be create model, so there will be a model type. There are 3 types. One is the PLS-SEM, another is the regression, another is the process. So now I am clicking on the PLS-SEM. Then they are asking for the name. I am putting over here FDP and save. Okay. So when I'll be saved, these kinds of interface will be appear on your screen. So in the left side, these are the list of variables. Okay, these are the list of variables and nature of variables are also given. And then this is the shape option, this is calculation, select, Latin variable, connect, and the other options are there. Okay. So now what was our first model? Our first model was that utilitarian value and hedonic value has an impact on purchase intention. What shall I do? I will be click on the variable that is related to the utilitarian value. This is the utilitarian value. Okay, just select all these value and then press the enter. And just I am putting it into the left side. Okay, and then these are the value relating to the hedonic variable, hedonic value, and then click on it. Again, I am putting it to the left. So this is basically, okay, let me the item of PI. Okay, so what is it? This circle is reflects the Latin variable, and these all are the items P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, P6, P7. These all are the items. Item means in your questionnaire, question 1, question 2, question 3, question 4, question 5, question 6, question 7, relating to measuring the purchase intentions of the consumers towards meme marketing, isn't it? It is hardly possible to understand the purchase intention by a single question. So that's why we put questions. We put maybe 10 questions, 15 questions, 20 questions, isn't it? And based on our questions, we have inserted the data, and this is basically our construct. And see, the arrows is going from the center to the items. This model is known as the formative, sorry, this model is known as the reflective model, isn't it? This model is known as the reflective model. What are the advantages of this reflective model? You can interchange the items when it is required. What does it mean? Suppose you asked the questions relating to the utilitarian value, but the question is close to the.
Excuse me, sir. Sir,
Yes,
what
please.
is the difference between formative and reflective models, sir?
Yeah, I'll just tell you. Just try to understand the concept of the form. This is the reflective model. Okay, what is the
Okay, sir,
reflective
okay.
model? The arrows is going from the center to items, isn't it? See, all the arrows are going from the center to items. And if we click on these, that arrows is coming from items to construct, that is known as the formative model. In case of a reflective model, you can interchange your items. What I am trying to say, suppose there are two items, there are two constructs. One is the utilitarian value, another is the hedonic value. Maybe the question belongs to either utilitarian value or hedonic value. Okay, the respondent sometimes do not understand their proper meaning of the questions. That's why they are giving their opinion. So you have think that these questions may be under the utilitarian value, but after certain periods of time, you can realize that these questions may be relating to the hedonic value. So you can change this item from utilitarian value to the hedonic value. But in case of a formative model, the changing of items is impossible. You cannot change the items, isn't it? You cannot change the items from one construct to the another construct. So when it is a reflective model, it is a reflective model and it is a formative model. So the combination is reflective formative measurement. But when we are using all the items of reflective form, then it is known as the reflective measurement. When all the construct are in what is it called, that formative form, then it will be called as that formative model, isn't it? Generally, and another important thing you just keep in your mind, that the reflective form means that the latent variable is the cause of item. Formative That is the one differences between the reflective measurements and the formative measurement. Okay. Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So now all these measurements are in a reflective in nature. So now next what we do, connect the variables or construct. So there is a first and this is the second. Then what is our task? Our task is to just calculate the PLSSCM algorithm. So there will be an option factor and path. Though we are conducting the path analysis, our option should be in path. Types of results, there are standardized, unstandardized, mean centered. We must click on the standardized results, and initial weight, it is not required. Then we must click on start calculation. See, these are our loadings. Okay, so P1 has an influence on purchase intention. That's been question P1. The item P1 has a significant influence. P2 also has the significant influence. See, all the items are more than 0.7. If anyone is less than 0.7, we must remove it from our analysis. For example, see over here, one item is less than 0.7, or two items, three items are less than 0.7. What should we do? We must delete this. Select, delete, select, delete. And then again, we can run start calculation. See, one item still it is below a 0.7. So what was the earlier results? See, it was
Excuse me, sir. I have a question.
yes, please.
Sir, why are we selecting 0.7 as the cutoff? Is it just for this particular project, or generally we remove
No, no, it's according to the literature.
Okay.
0.7 is the minimum cutoff for considering an item loading. It is known as the item loading.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Otherwise, suppose if you consider an item with the loading of 1, what is the significance of it? It doesn't make any significant contribution for constructing the particular construct. So we must remove it, isn't it? There are a lot of literature. You can go through it and you will get your more confidence about is it called that loadings of the item, isn't it?
Yes.
So in case of
Excuse me, sir.
yes, please.
Sir, when we talk about this factor analysis, that the loading which are less than 0.4, that will be removed. But as far as this PLS is concerned, here 0.7. Is it, sir?
Yeah, it is 0.7. But in some cases, we can also consider the 0.6.
In case of factor analysis and all, 0.4, the items which have a loading less than 0.4, that will be removed, sir.
Yeah, see, actually in species, the statistical packages has been developed based on the certain assumptions. Similarly, the PLS is based on the certain assumptions. What is the assumptions for the species? The data should be normal. That is the first criteria. Okay, but in case of a smart PLS, data should not be normal. You can run the PLS with non-normal data. So that's why the loading should be higher than 0.7. That is one cutoff they have set. Madam, getting my point?
So yes, sir, I got, sir.
Yeah, okay, thank you so much. So this is the, again, if we calculate it, so smart PLS, just run it. Okay, so this is basically our results. And if we click on the result sheet, we'll get the path coefficient. This is our path coefficient. And we can also check the reliability and validity of the construct. So this is the convex alpha for the reliability. See, all the values are 0.7. That's why it is showing green. ROHA, according to the physics, it should be more than 0.7. So all the values are more than 0.7. Composite reliability is also there. So what are the benefits of the smart PLH? You can calculate convex alpha. You can calculate the composite reliability simultaneously for checking the normality of the data. For checking the, sorry, not normality, for checking the reliability of the data. For composite reliability, you can consider the AV, that is average variance extracted. So see, the average variance extracted should be greater than 0.5. But in SPSS, if you want to calculate the average variance extracted, that is the AV value, you must do it manually in the Excel. There is no options for calculating the AV by the software. You can get the convex alpha from the reliability. You can remove value. You can get the budget test value, but you cannot calculate the AV value. But in this case, in the smart PLH, you can calculate the AV value over here, isn't it? To check the composite reliability. Sorry, to check the AV, that is the, what's it called, that convergent validity of the your model. You can also check the divergent validity or the discriminant. See, this is the discriminant validity. One criteria is the HTMT ratio. According to the HTMT ratio, the value should be less than 0.9. The value should be less than 0.85 is sound enough, but sometimes some literatures, they argue that up to 0.9 we can consider. See, one is below the 0.9 and rest are and these two are the above the 0.9. So that's why it is showing the red color. So through this color, you can understand whether the HTMT ratio is significantly defined or not. Even you can also check the HTMT Fornell-Lorca criteria. What is the criteria for the Fornell-Lorca? The diagonal value should be higher than the other correlational value. See here, the diagonal value is 0.07 and the other correlational value is greater than the 0.07. So the criteria for the Fornell-Lorca is not established. So that's mean the model is not significant. We cannot consider this model. Sorry, we cannot consider this model for our analysis, isn't it? Because the basic criteria, that is the convergent validity and the divergent validity, is not fulfilled. So what do? We must reconsider our research questionnaire. We must consider our sample size. We must consider the area of the research and so on, so forth, isn't it? So this is the first examples that you can use or utilize the smart PLH software in a very befitting way. I would like to show you, this is the simple model, simple second order model. I would like to just going to show you another model where some other construct is involved. So this part is our already in the first model. This part is also in our first model, but now we have incorporated two mediation. One is the cognitive attitudes, another is the affective attitudes, isn't it? One is the cognitive attitudes, another is the affective attitudes as the mediation. Can you run these kinds of analysis in SPSS? I think it is hardly possible to run in SPSS. So what do you do in smart PLH? You can run it very easily. So now just let me show you how do you run it. So this is our items relating to the cognitive attitudes of the users.
Sir, is it not possible in AMOS also?
Yeah, this is possible in the AMOS, but what you have to do, you first run the factor analysis. There is no guarantee that there will be 5 factors will be generated in the factor analysis. Suppose there are 6 factors are generated, or maybe one factor is maybe constructed by 7 or 8 or 10 items. So what do you do with the other constructs? So that is one difficult for the SPSS and AMOS. But you can do it AMOS, it's true, but mediation analysis cannot be possible in AMOS. So for analyzing the mediation, you must install the process software.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so now I am going to introduce two mediating item or construct. One is the cognitive behavior, another is the affective behavior. So earlier we tested that, visual utilitarian value and heading value has an impact on the purchase intention, but the model was not fitted. So now we are going to introduce the mediating factor to understand, is there any other factors that are associated with the relationship between utilitarian value and purchase intention, as well as hedonic value and purchase intention. So now just connect all these items according to our model. Okay, just let me show you once again the model. This is our model. Okay, the utilitarian value has an impact or has an effect on cognitive and affective attitudes, and then it goes to the purchase intention, because the first model was not established. Okay, there are something should just okay. So I have connected all the items and go to the calculation. Click on the smart village, same thing, just start. Village algorithm, just start calculation. So this is our results. So this value is not so good, we can delete it. When we'll delete again, we'll run it. Okay, this is our results. So now come to the result section. This is the path analysis. This is the beta value. Okay, that affective attitudes is associated, positively associated with purchase intention. Cognitive attitudes also positively associated with the purchase intention. Then hedonic value also positively associated with affective and cognitive intention, cognitive attitudes. Similarly, utilitarian value is also positively related, but the value of the alpha is very, very poor over here, isn't it? So I'll come to the later, what should we do? So then we'll check the construct reliability and validity. See, for the hedonic value, there is the convergent validity is not supported, which is less than 0.5. So we must check our data, we must check our questionnaire to make the convergent validity supported. Then we'll check once again that the discriminant validity. So see, the discriminant validity is not well supported. It means the data is not sound enough. We must reconsider our data. We must recheck our data. We must, what is it called that? Change the questionnaires, which will be more friendly for the respondents. Even we can also check the HTMT ratio. So in case of HTMT ratio, apart from these, the other are correct. Apart from and in case of these, PI is greater over than here. So this you must consider the, what is it called, that thumb rule. In case of a Forlane-Larkin criteria, the diagonal value should be greater than the other correlational value, but it is not also supported. Means the data should be rechecked once again. Here we can check the collinearity statistics. Collinearity statistics means whether there is items or the measurements are related to each other. What is the thumb rule? 3 is good cutoff. If all the values are below 3, that means there is no multicollinearity. all the data is well, all the measurement is all the measurements are well described, and there is no multicollinearity. You can run it further. But see, this is greater than 3, and in some cases, in some up to 0.5 we can consider, up to 0.5 we can consider, and see the up to 0.5 values are in a black. It is not in green, means it is considerable. But above 5 it is red in color. So this item we need to check. Okay, that is cognitive attitudes. Question number 3 we must be checked, and these two are also be checked. Personal purchase intention and the purchase intention 3 and purchase intention must be checked, because the collinearity is there and the other are good enough. So you can also check the, what is it called, that collinearity, and then you can also check the model fit. There is a model fit. So what is the model fit criteria? The SRMR value should be less than 0.8. The SRMR value should be less than 0.8, and NFI, that is norm fit indexed value, should be greater than 0.85. If these two criteria are satisfied, you can say that this model is significant. Sorry, this model is good. This model is good. But here neither SRMR values nor NFI's values are within the threshold level. The SRMR value is greater than the threshold level, and NFI's value, that is norm fit index value, is less than the thumb rule. Okay, sure, the model is not well fitted, as the data is not complete. So that's why result is like that. When your data will be good, when your data will be perfect, when you have finalized your research questionnaires after the pilot study, I think everything will be within the threshold level. Okay, just I am showing you how do you use the smart PLS for your research analysis. Okay, so first of all, I show you one hierarchical model. Second, I show you the hierarchical model with with mediating variable, isn't it? See here, one value is 0.188. You must remove it. One value here is minus 0.01. You must remove it. So when you will be redefine your model by eliminating these kinds of items, the model will be sound enough, or all the criteria will be fulfilled. Okay. Model
Sir,
establishment.
what is indicated by VIF with collinearity?
Sorry, could you please repeat once again?
What is indicated by VIF?
VIF means suppose you have these item, these item, these item, these item, this item. Okay, you have used 7 items to measure the cognitive attitudes. Okay, you have 500 respondents. So if all the respondents give the same value, so suppose it is 1 to 7 scale, all are putting the 6 for all the items. What does it mean? The respondents are fails to understand the meaning of your items. They are unable to read your questions properly. That's why all the items are related to each other. That is the multicollinearity problem. That is the collinearity problem. If this item and that item is similar, so what does it mean for creating these 2 items separately? That is the concept of the collinearity. You must check the collinearity and remove it.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Clear. So this is the first model that I have shown you regarding the higher order in smart PLS. Third, I would like to show you that apart from the mediating variable, you are interested to measure the impact of model, the same model, isn't it? So what is the mediating variable we have considered over here? It is a social media influencer. So purchase intention does influenced by social media influencer in case of a cognitive and affective attitudes. Isn't it? This is another variable that is known as the moderating variable. So now let's see how we can use the moderating variable in a single model in case of a smart PLS. But in case of a SPSS, it is hardly possible to conduct such kinds of analysis in a single frame. So now this is our items relating to the mediator, that is the SMI social media influencer. Okay, so let's connect through the model. See, there is a moderating effect. So just click on the moderating effect and connect it with your links. See, the dotted lines reflecting the moderating effect. What do? You will again click on the smart PLS and click on the start calculation. So you will get the results. So click on the results. Click on the path coefficient. These are the path coefficient. See the moderating effect between social media influencer and cognitive attitudes is minus 2.6, and it is in my plus 2.85. Now coming to the next parameter or next criteria, that is the reliability and validity. All the convex alpha are significant. HO value are also significant. Composite reliability are also significant, but HE value, the convergent validity of the HE is not so significant. So we must check it. Now come to the discriminant validity. See, some variables under the HTM ratios are not so significant. We must consider it and try to understand how we remove all these problems over here. And come to over here the Fallen-Orkan criteria. See, in case of a first item, this is 0.734. It is 0.375, just above the third variable. And in case it is good enough, but it is not so good, 0.703, and the next value is the 0.815. So there is a problem. There is no discrimination. So better to say, I would like to understand what is the concept of convergent validity and the divergent validity. Do you know the convergent validity and the divergent validity concept? Hello?
No, sir.
No, sir.
It is the convergent validity concept. Convergent validity concept means, suppose these are the items, isn't it? So how they are closely related with each other for constructing this particular construct. That is known as the convergent validity. If they are not close, if they have a gap, so this construct cannot be developed, cannot be framed. So through the convergent validity, we try to understand how these items are closely related to each other. That is the one concept of the convergent validity. And divergent validity reflects how many constructs we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So how they are significantly different from each other. If there is no differences between Euclidean value and the hedonic value, so the model doesn't make any sense. So we must ensure that the Euclidean value and the hedonic value should have a significant differences. I'd like to show you a simple example for a better understanding about the term convergent validity and the divergent validity. Suppose you are going to select a laundry for cleaning your clothes or washing your clothes. What are the parameters do you consider? Number one is the price. Number two is the convenient. Number three is the location, isn't it? So convenient and location you can measure by asking 4 or 5 questions. Similarly, convenience can be measured by asking 3 or 4 questions. How it is convenient, whether there are transportations are available or not, and etc. etc. And location means where it is located. It is in the main town, it is in the aside of the town, or it is in maybe some other places. So if the convenient and location doesn't have any differences, can this variable effective for selecting a laundry? That is the concept of the discriminant validity. The construct that we are considering for our research must be significantly different from each other. If there is no differences between cognitive attitudes and the affective attitudes, so how it can be influence the purchase intention? How we can ensure it? How we can assure that cognitive attitudes and affective attitudes are two different constructs through the from the discriminant validity results, isn't it? So for the discriminant validity, we have three measurements. One is known as the HTMT ratio, that is heteroid monotroid ratio. Second is known as the Forlane-Urquhart ratio, and third is known as the cross tabulation or something like that. Just take the term cross loading. Sorry, third is known as the cross loading. See, when we click on the discriminant validity, you may find there are four things. One is the HTMT ratio, and one is HTMT ratio, another is Forlane-Urquhart ratio, and third is the cross loading. This is your HTMT ratio. What is the thumb rule for the HTMT ratio? All the values should be less than 0.9. 0.8 is appreciated, but 0.9 is considerable. What is the criteria for the Forlane-Urquhart ratio? All the diagonal values should be greater than other correlational values. And if we click on the cross loadings, so this is the cross loading sheet. This value is negative in between 5th and 6th value. Here should be a continuous increase. Okay, here should be a continuous increase, but there is a negative. In for the second one, see, there is all values are, what is it called? This one, this one, this one, this one. All the values are greater than 0.7, but apart from this one, it is less than 0.7, so we must remove it. For the third one, all the values should be, sorry, this should be over here. All the values should be greater than 0.7. Okay, but this value is less than 0.7, so there might be some problem. So by this way, we can check the discriminant validity. Okay, then we must check the polarity statistics. This is
Sir, sorry to interrupt you, sir.
yes, please.
So there is a question from Dr. J. Sundararaja. He put a question that how can say a variable as a moderating variable or mediating variable? This was the question.
Okay, thank you for these questions. Actually, when you developed a model, this is your own model, okay, based on the literature. We have defined this model based on our literature. There is some concept, some literature you must go through to define whether the construct is act as a mediator or moderator, isn't it? There is no other things or other rules that you can apply to find out the mediating or moderating variable. It is your own understanding about the concept, about the model, isn't it? In case of a TAM, suppose TAM, technology acceptance model, which is very popular model established by David in the 1989 to measure the intention of the technology users. In this case, he has used two independent variable. One is the perceived usefulness, another is the age of use, and he introduced a mediating variable that is known as the attitudes. So according to his beliefs, according to his own observations, he understood that attitudes may have some impact in the relation between the perceived usefulness and age of use and the purchase and the user intentions. of the technology acceptance model. So here in case of this particular, we have used a model which is known as the VAP model, value, attitudes, and behavioral model. According to this model, the attitudes is always in the mediating factor or mediating construct. We cannot use this cognitive and affective construct as a moderator because it doesn't support the literature. Whatever variables you are considering as the mediator or moderator, you must support the literature. Otherwise, you cannot define your construct as a mediator or the moderator. I hope you understand. Okay, there are a lot of theories. There are different
Sir,
theories. Yeah.
Will you provide these thumb rules?
Sorry?
Will you provide these thumb rules? Because
Thumb rules.
yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'll give you. I'll share the thumb rules with you. No problem. Okay, I hope you understand how do you select the mediating variable or moderating variable. Isn't it? Mediating or moderating variable, it is 100% supported by literature. We cannot say from our heads that this is a mediating variable or that is a moderating variable. It cannot be happen. If you do anything from your heads, you must establish it. You must prove it. Otherwise, no one can accept your concept. Whatever you are going to consider as a mediator or the moderator, from your own, you must establish the concept first. Okay, I hope you understand. In case of a TAM model, in case of a UTAT model, in case of a plant a TPB model, okay, there are a lot of literatures, lot of established studies. So based on the literature, based on the established studies, we must consider that this is the mediator, that is the moderator. We can change it, we can modify it according to the changes of the scenario, changes of the environment, but it must be supported by the literature. Okay, so this is our third examples to run the, is it called that?
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, my research will be like I will be considering TAM, TRA, TBP, UT, AUT, UT, AUT2 models for my thesis. So then can I take their mediating and moderating variables? Can I include their their variables in my research as well with proper citation?
Could you please repeat once again, madam? Actually, I'm not getting you properly.
Sir, my thesis will be I'll be including TAM, TRA, TBP, UT, AUT, UT, AUT2 models in my thesis, sir. So can I include, like, can I follow their mediating and moderating factors in my thesis as well?
What I told you, you must, you may or may not follow their mediating or moderating variable, but
Okay.
whatever you are follow, whatever you are considered as a mediating or moderating variable, it must be supported by the literature, isn't it? Most of the times you may find that the researcher said that they used extended TAM model.
Yes,
what does it mean by extended TAM model? There is an existing TAM model,
yes, sir.
which is well accepted by the academician and the researchers.
Yes, sir.
Now
Yes.
they are going to edit some new variables from the other studies, from the other perspectives. So that is an extended model. So you can use any variables according to your own choice, according to your own interest. But whatever you will introduce in your study, it must be supported by the literature.
Okay, sir.
Otherwise, no one can accept it.
Okay.
My point?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is our third text. So from this analysis, or before going to that, which moderating effect has a significant contribution in what is it called that in the relationship between cognitive attitudes and the purchase intention and the affective attitudes and the purchase intentions? We can also check it through the slope analysis. So there is a slope analysis. For the first one, see this is the intercept point, which is extreme in the right side, and then there is a differences. That means it is a negatively significant influence. Okay, so you know how it to be interpreted. In case of a second one, see it is the positive, isn't it? So the mediating effect for the second one, that is the social media influences and affective behavior is positively impacted on the purchase intention through the meme marketing. But in case of the first one, that there is a negative significant impact on in the relationship between the cognitive behavior cognitive attitudes and the purchase intention behavior through the SMI. So this is the simple interpretation. You can use different literatures for put your more efforts on this interpretation. So this is the just I'd like to delete it. I'd like to show you another important things. So this is the mediating analysis. Okay, this is the mediating analysis. How do you know which mediating factor is influencing more on purchase intention? So just click on over here and go to the where is the diagram? So where is the model? Just come. Sorry, let me just take a look at this model. This is very user-friendly software, but only one limitation that it is a paid. It is a paid software. It's not a free software. Just run it. Yes. PI is our target construct, that is our dependent variable, and just click on it. Direct procedures of the selected target construct. Start the calculation. Then go to it. Then you will get the. See, this is the importance performance map, which mediator, sorry, which mediator impacted more on purchase intention. So where is the affective attitudes? This is the point is in between 1.5 and it is lies between 0.781 to 0.835. So it has the more impact. It has the more impact, and it is almost, or it is, you can say, the greater than 8. So from this diagram, we can also draw the conclusion which one is the important mediator and which one is the least important mediator of our study. Okay, so then come to the moderator analysis. So this is the moderator. We can add the moderating effect. and we can calculate the relation algorithm. And there is a bootstrap option. From the bootstrap option, you can check the t-value. You can check the significant or not significant. Now I have just run the bootstrapping. In case of SPSS, if you run the higher order analysis, so the criteria for checking is different. You must consider the what is it called, that P close. You must consider the chi-square value. You must consider the CFIs, NFIs, AFIs, and other things. But here, the consideration is only on T values. Now this is the path coefficient. This is the original value of the path. This is the sample mean. This is the standard deviation, and this is the P value. See all the P values, and this is the T values. So T value and P value is there, which are the main criteria for draw the concluding remark. So here the P value is positive, isn't it? Sorry, P value is greater than 0.05. So in this case, the null hypothesis is accepted, but in other cases, the alternative hypothesis. We can say from this particular analysis, we can say that value doesn't have any significant contribution on affective behavior. But in other cases, there is a significant contribution. Even the social media influencer has a significant contribution as a moderator for the relationship between cognitive attitudes and the purchase intention, as well as the affective attitudes and the purchase intention. But only one difference is that in the first cases, the relationship is negative, and in the second case, the relation is positive. Okay, so based on applying your general concept or knowledge, you can interpret these results, and that is sufficient for the analysis. So now the last part that I would like to show you, apart from the mediating and moderating variable, you consider the control variable. Okay, like age, gender, education, occupation. Or they have any impact on the purchase intention apart from the value, attitudes, and the mediator and the moderator, or the control variables can affect the purchase intention of the users or the customers. So this part can also be tested through the smart village in a single model. So suppose we have the data over here regarding age, gender, qualification, occupation. So if we insert this data and then we can run once again the SCM. So we'll get the results. Just click on the result, go to the path analysis. See, age has a negative impact on purchase intention, whereas gender has a positive impact on purchase intention, isn't it? So according to your hypothesis, you can interpret the results. You can check the construct reliability. Same case for utility value and the heading value. And you can check the discriminant validity. You can check the validity statistics. You can check the model fit as you wish. So everything will be according to the thumb rule. If everything will be according to the thumb rule, then you can draw your conclusion from this model. Okay, so this is the concept of smart PLS, and you can draw or you can develop a hierarchical model very smoothly with huge number of items. But in case of a species, if the items will be more than 50, so it is the species cannot be. Hello.
Sir, you can continue.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so this is the basic concept of the smart village, and this is very user-friendly software. I think you can realize from this presentation. And I'm little hurried to finish all the areas. That's why I may miss some areas, important areas to cover it. Next time, if I'll get another opportunity, or maybe I will give you my contact number and mail ID. If you have any queries, if you have any doubts, feel free to contact me. Okay, this is relating to the smart village and the SPSS. The last that I like to show, that my first word, which I told you, that results will be same, only interface will be different. Okay, just let me do an analysis in the SPSS, and then I'll perform the same analysis in smart PLS. Okay, this is the data. So I would like to perform regression analysis. Do you know how to perform this? How to perform the regression analysis in SPSS by these Likert scale data? It is very simple. So suppose I am going to perform the regression analysis between the utilitarian value and utilitarian value, hedonic value, and the purchase intention. This is for your understanding. Now go to the transform. There is an option called transform. So you must compute a variable for regression analysis. You cannot use these all items for performing the regression analysis. What do you do? Go to the compute variable, go to the first transform, then click on the compute variable. So right over here, suppose I'm giving here one name. So suppose ultra, ULTRA, utilitarian or utilitarian value, and I'm giving it as an ultra. Now coming to the this box, that is the function group. Click on statistics. Sorry, click on statistical. When you will click on the statistical, there will be another window will be open, functions and special variables. Click on the mean. So when you will be click on the mean, so the numeric expression value will be enabled. So there will be two question marks. Just delete these two question marks. Then what do? You will calculate the mean. You can also do it in Excel, but from SPSS it will be easily you can easily compute it. So just click on MV, then comma, UV, then comma, just compute the mean value of it. Okay, and then finally click on OK. Click on OK. So when it will be click on OK, and go to the data sheet. So you may find there is a new variable constructed, which is known as ultra. Similarly, we'll compute second variable, which is hedonic value. Go to the transform, compute variable, just write over here hedo, and just remove this item. Then click on HE1, H2, H3, comma, H4, H5, H6. Again, click on OK. So if when we come to this part, find there is another variable constructed that is known as header. And last we need to compute our, these two are the independent variables. And last we need to compute our dependent variable. Just we write over here purchase in, that is purchase intention. Similarly, just delete it. This is P1, comma, P2, comma, P3, P4, P6, P7, and finally P7. Sure, we have three new variables. One is ultra, header, and purchase intention. Now we will run the regression analysis. Now go to the regression, go to the linear option. Now what is our dependent variable? Our dependent variable is the purchase intention, and our independent variable is the ultra and header. Go to the statistics, click on the R squared change, descriptive statistics, qualitative statistics, Darwin version, and then continue, and method by default it is entered, and click on the OK. So this is our results in SPSS. Just go to the smart village. Okay. So now I just check it. No. Again, I am this part. Sure. Go to the regression. Now FDP name is regression. Now it is in PLS. So another these types of window will be created in the name of regression. Save. Okay, when I transform from the smart village to regression, so again another new window will be appear. So we have the same data over here, ultra, header, and these things, isn't it? Just I have computed for your better understanding to save the time. So what do? We will run the regression. This is our dependent variable. Just click on the dependent variable. When you will click on the dependent variable, the intercept automatically will be connected with your dependent variable. Then just you put your ultra as the independent variable and hedonic value as the another independent variable. Go to the calculate regression analysis. Total test significance at 95% level, and just click on the start calculation. So this is the results. Now coming to the result summary. Okay, this is the summary. First coming to the summary ANOVA. This is the ANOVA table. Now coming to the SPSS. What is the ANOVA table? This is the ANOVA table. Okay, you can take a screenshot. So I think some what is it called, value is changes over here. Let me check. No, absolutely correct. So regression value is over here. Regression value is 1.50. Total value is 0.208. Come to the SPSS. Regression value is 150. Total value is 209. See, all are same. P values are also same. F values is 352. Come to the SPSS. What is the value? 353.92. Just slight differences, and all the values are same. What I told you, just interface is different. In case of a SPSS, the regression value is on the top, but in case of a smart PLS, the regression value is on the bottom, isn't it? It is 3.5, 2.5. That's when you can consider 353. And in case of SPSS, so it is 353.9. It may be 354. There is nothing differences. Now coming to the model summary. This is the model summary in SPSS. Now coming to the model summary. R square value. What is the R square value? 0.719. What is the R square value for SPSS? 0.720. Is there any significant differences between 0.719 and 0.720? There is no significant differences. What is the value of adjusted R square? It is 0.718. Now come to the SPSS. What is the adjusted R square? 0.717. Isn't it? What is the Darwinian? 1.97. Coming to the SPSS. What is the Darwinian? 1.969. I hope you agree with me that interface is only differences. The results are same for all softwares. Even if you run this data in R, you will get the same result. Just the procedure is different, methods is different, but the results will be same. Okay.
Smart PLS is used for both qualitative and quantitative.
Yeah, you can use for qualitative and quantitative. Okay, so with this, I'm limiting my discussion over here. Now this is time for question answer. If you have any query, if you have any doubt, please feel free to ask.
Participants, if any query, please ask. Unmute and ask.
The process first is left in Smart PLS because it is hardly possible to cover everything within 2 hours. Anyway, I hope you are enjoyed my session and you learn little bit regarding the statistical software in social sciences.
Definitely, sir. It was an excellent deliberation, and you went in very detail in explaining the SPSS as far as the PLS is concerned, Smart PLS and all.
Thank you, my dear friends. But one issue is that Smart PLS is not free. Trust me, I have involved or engaged 4 computer science experts to find out the crack on Smart PLS, but they fails to find that.
In multiple computers, sir, they can use it.
Yeah, in multiple computers you can use. One thing you can do, if you have suppose 4 or 5 research scholars, so you can purchase 1 unit, which will be installed in the central computer. So everybody can analyze their data and they can take the Excel file. And interesting thing is that, just I forgot to tell you. So this is suppose the results. This is the PLS algorithm. Oh, sorry, the path is invalid. And is there any others? Just let me show you. Suppose this is another examples. Suppose this is a PLS analysis. Okay. Just click on the result section. Now there is an option. You can what is it called, that export the entire results in your Excel sheet. Just if I click on the export, sheet will be exported. Suppose it is Shahar 123. Now it is saved. Just it is exporting. Then you can use anywhere. No need to use the software further. Now this is already exported. Now this is open. So see, everything is there. This is the graph. If you click on the show, the graph will be appear. Where is the graph? Oh, if graph cannot be appear here because you need to export the graph from here. There is an option. This is the option for export as image. If you click on the export as image, so there will be an option clipboard or file. If you click it on the clipboard, so the graph will be automatically saved in your location. Then after that, see, you can get the matrix. You can get the, just go to the navigation part, get the path coefficient value, get the indirect effect, whatever you would like to get, you can get it. These are the indirect effect. These are the specific indirect effect. These are the total effects. These are the list of variables, and you can get the value of the R square. This is the value of the R square. Okay, this is the R square, adjusted R square. These are the value of construct reliability and validity. This is the construct reliability, convex alpha, RHO, composite reliability, okay, and the convergent validity over here. Then you can also get the divergent value, discriminant validity. For discriminant validity, just click on the show discriminant value HTMT ratio, then Forley-Larkin ratio, then cross loading. So you can use anywhere. Just you need to compute the results of where the smart PLS is there. Then you can utilize it anywhere from your laptop or computer. If you have this, what is it called that? These results. Okay, sure. Thank you all for your. If you have any queries, please feel free to ask me. Or I would like to give my mobile number and my email ID. You can please note it. Just let me. What page?
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, please.
What would be the costing of this smart PLS?
Yeah, just let me write the mobile number. Please write it 9239473056. If you have any doubt, if you have any queries, please feel free to ask me. This is my WhatsApp number. This is my is it called that running mobile number?
Sir, with your permission,
I
have your mobile number and email ID. So, with your permission, if you give me permission, participants are asking your contact details. So, can I share your mobile number and email ID to the chat box?
Yes, sure. You can write it. My mobile number is 9239. Okay, you can write it on the chat box. Okay. That is given by Utpalji. Thank you so much, Utpalji. 9239473056 is my mobile number. And Sudin MBA@mail.videshagar.ac.in is my email ID. You can send your any queries relating to the smart PLS, relating to the analysis of the smart PLS. I'll try to help you from my core of heart.
Thank you, Sudin sir. Thank you for your excellent deliberation.
Oh, thank you, my dear friends. Hope to meet you soon physically.
Yeah, definitely, sir. I request Utpalji to summarize the session if there is no one else to ask the queries. Is there any other queries? I think no.
Sir, I think what is the costing of this PLS?
Oh, sorry. See, actually, they are sometimes offered the 50% discount. Okay, for the first time users, actual cost of the software is $240, which is around 24,000 in Indian currency. But if you write the owner of this software, Professor Ringley, and if you request him to offer some discount, he is, I think, accept it very earnestly. Okay, I'm very frank to show you that first time I used 3 free version from them by requesting that at the time of COVID, isn't it? At the time of COVID, and with the issue of the COVID, I request them to offer the free version. So they allow me to access the smart PLS free version for 3 times. That's been for 90 days. So 30 days, and another 30 days. Next time, I brought this software with the help of a project, ICSSR project. At that time, I request them to offer the 50% discount. They allow me to accept it by $110 only. 10 euro only, sure, not dollar, euro. And then last time, I request them that I am unable to pay the full cost. I am unable to pay this amount in Indian currency. Please accept it. Should they accept it? Okay. So the actual cost is 240 euro, and most of the times they offer 50% for the new users. You can consult with them.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, sir. Summing up, sir, told in the beginning that not all softwares need to go to the details, but only one software, if somebody knows in detail, is enough. As interface is different, result will be same. only knowledge, interpretation skills and results is important here. Sir discussed about SPSS and smart PLSM, and he discussed how to put data and how to interpret the results. So now it is an honor for me to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion as the session coordinator for day 3 session 5 of the 2-week faculty development program on research methodology and applied econometrics.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Just
Sorry,
Perona asked the questions, how good is EViews in comparison to smart PLS? Perona, EViews is you can use for the secondary data. I think for primary data, EViews is not so suitable. For econometrics analysis, like when you have a secondary data, like what is it called, that data from RBI, data from UNESCO, so you can EViews. You can is it called that calculate the econometrical model by applying the EViews. But in smart PLS, the secondary data can be used. Shown you that if you have a continuous data, so you can perform the regression analysis. You can perform but you cannot analysis that you can perform in EViews, isn't it? These two softwares are designed in such a way, one is for the secondary data and another is for the primary data. Okay, Perona, I think for the primary data, smart PLS is good. For the secondary data, EViews is good. And if your objective is to develop the econometrics model, then I suggest you to use the EViews. And if you have the primary data, like the data on Likert scale or data on semantic differential scale, you may use the smart PLS, or even you can use the SPSS. Thank you, Perona. Yes, Utpalji.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. I, Utpal, as the session coordinator for the day 3 session 5, would like to express my sincere thanks to our honorable resource person, Dr. Sudin sir, for his excellent discussion of the important areas of research. I would especially want to thank to the convener, Dr. Deepjyoti Chaudhary sir, the joint conveners, Dr. Taraknath Sahu sir, and Dr. Sravanti Maite ma'am for organizing such an educational program. We are fortunate to have the outstanding assistance of the Business Administration Department, Assam University, Silchar, and Vidyasagar University authorities. I would like to thank all the backend coordinators for their ongoing assistance in making the program run properly. I would also like to thank everyone who participated in the program, because it wouldn't be possible without them. Thanks to all of you for making this event very successful. Thank you, sir. Over to Devyoti, sir.
I thank you again, Sudin sir, for spending your precious time and giving a valuable lecture for us. I hope I can accommodate you in future occasions, sir.
Oh, thank you so much, sir. It's my pleasure. Actually, I'm very much very fortunate enough that after a long time I met with you.
Yeah,
through
yeah.
This FDP.
But it is a half meeting. We are in virtual mode.
Sure. Next time, I think you know what is it called, that Shoma Dash, who is associated with Nehu.
Okay.
Department of Commerce. He's very close to me. Sorry, she's very close to me. She asked me to visit her institute.
Okay.
So I have planned to visit when they have a conference. When I'll be there, definitely I'll call to you.
You get a chance to come here also at that time.
Yeah, sure, please. Thank you all the participants for your nice presence and sound cooperation.
Sir, I hope in the chat box there are a number of appreciations for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for an informative session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Have a nice night.
Thank you, sir. Good night, sir.
We are again 6:30. Thank you.
Okay. Deepajyoti sir, thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.